All right, good morning, everybody at Unity. And what a lovely day we have in store for us. I'm your friendly neighborhood bass player, John Moody. Today I am joined by Dave Van Haren on the drums, Mr. Hal Hobson on piano. We have the spectacular Brian Bay helping us lead the songs. And we're elated to welcome back a favorite of ours here, Mr. Samuel Nalangira, for special music. So, if you'll stand if you are able, we will start off the congregational songs with I Am the Thinker. One, two, three, and...
And if you ask me who am I, Awesome song choice this morning. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Good morning. I am Beth on platform today. Good morning, Unity of Kalamazoo. Thank you, everyone who has made this service possible today. Script, hospitality, bookstore upstairs, our audio and streaming team. You rock it out. Our ushers, PowerPoint, youth leaders, and of course, our wonderful music team. Thank you so much. If you have not already, now is a great time to silence your cell phone. We'd like to welcome any newcomers today at Unity of Kalamazoo, and we will give you a small gift bag after service if you will just fill out this yellow form and give it to our usher when you leave. Thank you for joining us today. Announcements. Today, one of our favorite guest speakers, who's now more of a regular, Reverend Brett Kuhn, is back with us. Yay! I know, I told him he's going to think I'm like his personal handler because I'm always on this weekend. Luckily, he thinks it's an okay relationship because he's stuck with me. So anyway, he will share his talk on staying present for life. Awesome message. On June the 9th, we will have another guest speaker and special musician, Jamie Lula, here at Unity of Kalamazoo. And we are also hosting Dr. Catherine Bailey for a women's meditation group on the first and third Wednesdays of the month. You don't have to have been at the first one to join the group. The next one is June 5th at 10 a.m. Choir practice tomorrow at 5:30. Last chance to sing before summer break. Performance will be June 23rd. Another one of our Unity family, Bob Weir, is hosting a discussion called The Truth About Indian Boarding Schools through WMU's OLLI program. There might be tickets still available, but you need to register through OLLI. This event is May 30th from 1 to 4 p.m. Couple of save the dates. On July the 21st, we will be attending our annual Growlers game after church, so watch for signups. We have a bank of about 20 tickets, and we usually have no problem selling those out, so we will begin taking those orders in the coming weeks. And our congressional picnic will be August the 25th, so mark that one on your calendar. Did I say that wrong? Oh, congressional. Okay. That's in November, but mark that one on your calendar also. We'll have a picnic first, because that'll be a little lighter and easier. Okay, so I'm sorry, our congregational picnic will be August the 25th, and we will need some helpers. Watch for those sign-up sheets also. Today being the third Sunday of the month, we also meet as Unity and Community. So please join us upstairs to discuss both with the DEI team. They're going to discuss their visit yesterday at the Wright Museum of African American History over in Detroit. Awesome. Okay, now let's join in our mission statement. Together, as an all-inclusive community, we awaken to spirit, grow into our souls, and build a better world. Our vision: we celebrate a world of ever-awakening consciousness, abundance, peace, and love for all. Our core values are love, authenticity, stewardship, oneness, and playfulness. And our land and labor acknowledgement. Our spiritual community acknowledges Black, Indigenous, and people of color whose lands and labor were forcibly taken. We pledge to promote understanding, equity, justice, and inclusivity. And now it's time to send a blessing to our youth, both here and in the community. As you go your way, know that you are loved, special, and important to us.
love in me, and resting in the love of God, I know that all is well. The peace of God is peace in me, and resting in the peace of God, I know that all is well. The breath of God is breathing me, and resting in the breath of God, I know that all is well. I know that all is well. I know that all is well.
Good morning, everyone. Always a pleasure to be here, for sure. Today's word is, I love words, I am. Just that, just I am. I am a living expression of God. In the book of Exodus, Moses asks God his name. God responds, I am who I am. I am is the name of the divine presence within me, a reminder of spiritual nature. Sometimes I may forget my divine identity by thinking of myself as weak, incapable, or unfortunate. If I have spoken disempowering words about myself, I release those thoughts and stop using those words. Each time I say, I am, I strengthen my awareness of the truth of being. I am God's life, love, wisdom, and strength, expressing uniquely as me. As I pay attention to my thoughts and words, I am able to recognize and release limiting thoughts more quickly. My awareness of my true identity grows stronger and stronger. And in Matthew chapter 16, verse 15, he said to them, "But who do you say that I am?" Hal, would you be willing to accompany me softly? Thank you. Just taking a nice deep breath in and just letting go of any of the busyness of the day, the week, the month, the year, maybe even. And just begin to come into, be in this space here. Did you know that everything you need to experience peace, to experience God, to experience love, to experience joy is right here in this moment? And the words I am lead you to that place. Not I am this or I am that, simply I am. I exist. The beingness of who I am exists. I know we get so inundated with what can seem like craziness in the world. I just want to invite you to just let the world be as crazy as it needs to be right now. Just let it go and you be here. Just be here. And allow the floor and the seating to support you, and especially if you're open to it, God or Jesus or Buddha, whatever your source is, nature, just allow yourself to be supported right now in this very moment. And I can assure you, you are fully loved and enveloped right in this very moment. Because that is actually your true nature. See, we don't need anything to be happy, but we need something to be sad. I'm inviting you to let go of those somethings, those beliefs, those limiting thoughts that keep us believing that we're not enough, that could keep us believing that we have to accomplish something or prove our worth to just be the brilliance, the magnificent peace, joy, and love that we already are. Yes, it's true. Not only are you loved, you are love. And if your mind has something to say about it, that's fine. It's okay. Let it say what it needs to say. Just simply notice it and come back to being aware of your breath. I hope you begin to feel a sense of peace right now. And know that you can do this anytime during the day as well. When you're feeling stressed and you become aware, okay, I'm noticing that there's stress going on in my life. Can I just come back to being aware of my breath? Which brings you back to this beautiful, perfect moment that is always here. Always, always, always. And I know we can sometimes forget it, and it's okay. You can just push the reset button no matter what you've done, no matter what will happen. You can simply push the reset button by coming back to present awareness that is always available to you. On this day, I wish for you peace. I wish for you joy, love, God. I wish for you presence and awareness to embrace all of it. And lastly, I wish you compassion so that you can walk this journey knowing that it's all unfolding as it needs to, and you don't need to fight it. But when you do fight it, I wish you compassion during that journey. And just taking another nice deep breath in, letting go and coming back into this moment. Namaste.
oluganda we batuzala wenjogera naline ensimbi nyingi buli wempita banegomba wenjogerera nazagenda nafunye omukwano ono wamatanvamu wemwagalira abaawo Yesu wange w'amaanyi Yesu wange w'amaanyi entalo zange zonna yazinwanira Yesu wange w'amaanyi Yesu wange w'amaanyi entalo zange zonna yazinwanira w'amaanyi 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 sometimes there's when you sit down you think of Jesus for what he's made for you. You look around, you see people with different disability, and you ask yourself, how comes I'm perfect? I have eyes, I can see, I have legs, I can walk, I have 2 hands. There are some people with only 1 hand, no eyes, but they're still living. But for you are perfect. You're gonna sing it with me. This one, I'm gonna say Wamani, okay? Just like this. Wamani. Wamani. Let me hear you. Yesu nze talimbamu talinsula yanjagala yansimba era mwagala ezimfira buli kyenjagala
I have to go after that? Jeez. That was beautiful. Really, really nice. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. And Brian, thank you. That was beautiful singing today. Thank you for the enthusiastic welcome here for me, especially Joe. I'm not sure what you had extra in your cup there, but I'll take it. My talk today is staying present for life, something like that. I don't exactly know the title, but is it up there? Oh, I got it right. Okay. I forgot you put it back here. I shared last time when I was with you here, I believe I was talking about when I went to Bali and I had this meditation under the waterfall. And it was really such a pivotal experience for me because it really helped me to say, can I come back to life? Can I come back to presence even when this water is just pouring at me? And it's intense. It was intense coming down, dropping from a fair amount. I thought it was just a small little trickle, but when the trickle drops 100 feet, it's no longer a trickle, right? And it's really been impactful for me to just be present. And so what's been going on for me is I find that I'm letting go of resistance to life. And Beth and I were having a conversation about this. There's just something that gets so much easier about life when we let go of our resistance to what's going on. And let's be clear, we have to be really crystal clear on this. When something happens in life, there are literally only two choices. One is that we accept it, and the other is that we reject it. Now, if we're being honest with ourselves, there are certain things that happen in our lives, and we're all going, oh no, 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 no. That is not right. I don't want that to happen. And a lot of times we'll drop right into prayer like, God, please get rid of this as quick as you can, right? And that's okay. But I find that, and this is one of the things Beth and I were talking about, to embrace what has been presented to you, because what's your other choice, right? You can fight against it, but what good is that going to do you? It will only create stress in your life. And so what do we mean by embracing? And this is really the part that's really been calling me lately is, we talk about embracing life or being grateful for no matter what happens or accepting it. And there's really a misunderstanding of what that means. So a lot of times when we say we're supposed to be accepting this or embracing this, we think that it's not okay to be angry. We think it's not okay to be frustrated. We think it's not okay for whatever we would call a negative thought, because that's not truly accepting it. But what's actually true is you accept the anger. You accept the frustrations. You accept the disappointment. You don't fight against any of it. Please hear that. You don't fight against any of it. I led a retreat for Interfaith Center for Spiritual Growth in Ann Arbor, which is where I attend when I'm not speaking. And it was a fundraiser, and we had about 21 people. It was a good group of people. I had poured so much time and energy into doing this, and the three women that I asked to teach this workshop with me were all very, very good in their fields. One was a yoga therapist who was quite good at what she did. Another one was sings songs. She uses songs to move people into their heart, just like was so beautifully done here. And the other person does journaling, and you journal, and she takes you into your heart. Everything was about leading us within. I had have a tremendous respect for all three of them. And my insecurities begin to come to the surface, and thinking, who am I to be captaining this ship with these three here? That's what began to come to the surface. And I was noticing, like, wow, my mind's saying, I don't know if I can do this. I don't want to let them down. it took us a really long time to get together, about 3 months. We had done some things on the side, through Zoom and things like that. But to finally get together, it took us about 3 months. And I'm like, okay, I'm driving to Ann Arbor. I'm going to meet up with all of them. And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to return something to IKEA, and then I'll meet up with them. So I go to IKEA, and I look at my phone, and I see a text from one of them that says, "Where are you, Brett? We're getting worried." And I looked at the phone, and it was 4:17. I was supposed to be there at 4 o'clock. I'm still 40 minutes away. So I'm going to be an hour late, and we only had an hour and a half that we were working together. And I was horrified. I had just done the very thing that I was afraid to do. And I can assure you, I was not grateful, and I was not embracing it. That I can attest to. And I honestly started freaking out. It really brought up some fears for me. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I did this. In my head, I'm in IKEA, so I'm looking all calm in that. But inside, I'm like frantic. And right after I look at that text, the person who texted me calls me up, and she said, "Where are you?" And I said, "I'm so sorry, I'm at IKEA." And she's like, "What? You're at IKEA?" And she was really angry. And I said, but she didn't say that, but I could tell. And then I said, "Oh my God, I'm so angry with myself." And she says, "Yeah, I am too." And I'm like, well, that wasn't exactly the response I was hoping for, but I understood. And so anyhow, then we thought, okay, how can we do this? And we kind of gathered ourselves somewhat and said, let's do Zoom. I'll go in the parking lot, I'll put my phone on. So the first thing I'm doing, obviously, is I'm profusely apologizing. How dare I do something like that? And so anyhow, I start right into it because we didn't have much time. So I start right into it. Carol says, Brett, take a breath. Take a breath. Let's just take a couple minutes of silence right now. Man, that was helpful. It was really, really helpful to just get myself somewhat centered. And we end up having a really nice session. We got a lot of things accomplished. But at the end of it, I apologized again because I'm sure 10 times wasn't enough. And so I apologized again, and I said, does anybody want to share, because I wanted to open the space up to just let them share. And I was probably trying to figure out a way to deal with my own guilt and shame of it all, And so one said, I feel really disappointed, and the other one's like, yeah, I'm disappointed as well, da-da-da-da. And then, they said something like, it's okay though, I wasn't quite sure I believed them as of yet, but that's what they said. So we had a good session, and the next day, I began to get on my emails, and I'm going to email them again just to solidify my apology because it hadn't been enough yet. And I thought to myself, no, I'm not going to do that. And I feel a bit emotional because it's been a very powerful thing for me to do, because there's that part of me that really wants people to love me, to approve of me, and looking outside for that love and approval because I'm not enough. And so what happened for me is I said to myself, no, I'm not apologizing anymore. In fact, what I'm going to do now that I'm back kind of in a more of a conscious and awareness place here, I am going to just offer whatever to Spirit, whatever they want to think, whatever they feel about me, let that be their journey. I hope everybody hears that because it's super important and powerful. Let that be their experience. Let that be their thoughts. Let that be their journey. It's not mine. And I am clear that God was a part of this whole thing because it needed to happen. It needed to bring up my fears. Not only did it need to bring up my fears, it was an absolute gift for me to release and let go of my need for them to approve of me. And I can't say that it was 100% at that point in time, but it was very beautiful and powerful, and I absolutely loved it. And then I began to feel gratitude for it. I'm like, thank you, Father. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I was feeling it. So this was part of my prayer. God, prepare me for the retreat. So I'm getting prepared. So the retreat comes probably only 2 or 3 weeks later after that, and we begin to start the retreat, and I'm feeling very much in my head, and I'm not wanting that experience at all. And so I'm trying to pull out all my tools. I'm praying. I'm, talking to God, and I'm trying to embrace everything, and I'm just doing my thing, and it really wasn't working. So Carol, who does Songs of the Heart, she started us off with a chant to move us into our heart. I'm like, okay, that's nice, but I still feel like I'm in my head. And then I led an exercise called Hands on Heart. Anybody ever experienced Hands on Heart before? Okay. And it's this beautiful, it started from a Sufi tradition where basically you have your hand on your heart and you're in an outer circle and inner circle. Each person has a partner, and then you rotate so that you can look into each other's eyes and with your hand on your heart. And as I was facilitating, I had one person in front of me, and I would say something like, thank you for being here. And they're looking into other people's eyes, so they're hearing these words and seeing it with this other person. Thank you for being here. Thank you for opening your heart to me. Thank you for just sharing your love. Open your heart, and you open your heart, and then you take the hand and kiss the hand. Each person kisses the other person's hand. And there's a way to protect yourself if you got a cold or something, just so no one's like, I don't want to do that one there. But it really, at first I was in my head, and I just heard the words coming. I knew the words I could say to make it sound good, but it wasn't the same until all of a sudden my heart began to open and my tears began to flow as I'm just looking into people's eyes. And I'm feeling my love for them and my gratitude for them. And then the words became more powerful and authentic at that point in time. But that wasn't the end of it. That was just the beginning, and I began to feel this struggle, and my mind, I'm identified with my mind that says, this isn't how I want it to look. I want to be in my heart, whatever that means, right? And that's just another observable thought, right? The word of today, I am, speaks of just that, I am. Not I am in my head, or I am this, or I am struggling. Those are all just thoughts that are not the truth. You can't add anything after the words I am. Anything you add to it all of a sudden becomes a description, and we're falsely identifying with something that we are not. So I'm struggling through this workshop, and I'm, as the facilitator, the main facilitator of this, I'm thinking, here I am in my head, and I'm supposed to be leading them into their heart in something deeper. So Friday night comes and goes, and it was good still. But then Saturday came, and I go, I'm still not out of this space. So then as we started to do a meditation, I said, look, I'm in a workshop right now. I'm really struggling. And I just need to be honest and transparent about that. And I want to also say, I'm not asking anyone to fix me. I'm not asking it to be any different than what it is. And so I shared that and was very helpful. And of course, then other people wanted to share to fix me. Because we are so used to trying to take people out of their pain, right? If somebody's in pain, we're very uncomfortable. We need to somehow figure out, how do I help them get out of their pain? But I'm telling you, the pain is there for a reason. And if we can embrace that pain, stay present with the pain, that is staying present for life. When you have pain that comes up, it doesn't mean, again, that you can't say, oh man, I'm frustrated, I'm angry, I don't want it to be this way. Be aware of those thoughts. Be mindful of that, but don't take that as the truth. It's just an experience you're having, and it's just the mind having something to say about it. It's okay. It really is okay. So everyone did their thing and said what they needed to do to fix me, and I just reminded them, I said, thank you, and I actually don't need fixing. I'm just being real and present with what my experience is right now. But because I shared transparently and I was being vulnerable and real with them, my heart began to open. And by the end of the retreat, I was like a blubbering fool. I love you guys. And I sound like I was drunk or something, I guess. And I just really was feeling so much gratitude. And I literally was bawling in just thanks for how it went. And when somebody's vulnerable around you, when somebody cries and they're willing to just be real with what's going on and present with life, what a gift, right? I'm not trying to make that sound like an ego thing. It kind of did there, but it was a gift for me, and it was a gift for others, and everyone else's heart opened more. I felt like everybody was doing pretty good anyhow, but then just people were sharing, and it just really opened things up to a whole nother level. And at the end of the retreat, everyone's like, when do we get to do this again? I go, give it a moment there, please. It was good, but it's kind of like, probably a woman having a baby. It's like, don't talk to me about having another child right now, right? So, life does present itself. It does. But we really do have a choice. In fact, it's the one choice that we really have, is to really reject it or embrace it. And that's why, I talk about sometimes also about taking 100% responsibility for your life. That is such an important factor in all of this. Because if you don't, then you're going to make someone or something else the problem, and you are not going to have an opportunity to heal it. You will not, because you're going to wait for someone or something else to change before you can be happy. And I'm going to say right now, because, politically, we got things going on in this world. There's obviously, in this country, there's a big divide, and people, there might be some in here that are going to end up getting pulled into this. This is the only way I'm going to be happy if this is the outcome. I'm inviting you to let that go. Be present with your thoughts on that. Be present with your pain on that. Pain is your teacher. And, you've probably heard this phrase before. A lot of yogis have said it, masters have said it over the years. Pain is inevitable, suffering is optional. So there's only, as A Course in Miracles says, there's only fear or love. If you have fear, there is a pain that is associated with that fear. So in my experience, the more I can say, thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't know where this is leading, God. I truly don't. But I do know that everything you're giving me is helping me to awaken to who I am. And so why would I be anything but grateful? Oh, but sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I'm not. And so last night, I went to my friend who does Songs of the Heart. She has a community sing in Ann Arbor once a month. We gather and we sing, maybe a dozen of us, 15. We just sing songs that are chants of the heart, and it moves it beautifully in. And she sang this song about looking up at the sky, and a couple people wanted to lay down on the ground. And so we all end up laying down on the ground as we're singing the song. And so I went to bed maybe about 11 o'clock. About 12:30 in the morning, I discovered something crawling on me, and it was a little tick that I had got on there. And I have a little bit of a fear with that, just because, I know friends that have gotten Lyme disease, And so I noticed that, and I got up, and I thought something else had fallen also when I got up to, pull it off me. And I couldn't sleep. It sounded like the song, I couldn't sleep at all last night. But you don't want to hear me sing that. But it was true. I couldn't sleep, and so there was only one thing left to do, and that was to just be mindful of my fears and my thoughts about what this tick means or what it might do, and not make it bad or wrong, just to know, okay, I've got fears coming up. Can I be present and aware with it? And that's what I did. And I really didn't sleep much last night, so I'm like, okay, I'm going to just, I'm going to get up. I'm going to get on the road early if I need to stop. And so I have time to take a nap or meditate or something coming over, because I come over from Royal Oak, if you don't know that. And so I get up. I'm like, oh, my son is in the shower. He never showers in the morning. Why is he in the... I'm like, Maverick? He's like, yeah. I'm like, are you showering? He's like, yeah. I'm like, I got to drive over to Kalamazoo this morning. He's like, okay, I'll hurry. So I'll try to save some water for you. I'm like, okay. So, God is always preparing us. God was preparing me for the talk today. And I say this tongue in cheek, thank you very much. No, I came over and I was still feeling a little bit like, wow, I don't feel like I'm fully embracing this. So sometimes when you feel like you can't embrace something, what you do is you accept that you can't embrace it. Please hear that, because that's really important. Sometimes we're grumpy and we're trying to get out of it. What do? You embrace the grumpiness. You stay present for life. You stay present for whatever is given to you. And I know the one that's trying to get out of the grumpiness is not my I amness, by the way. It's my egoic self. It's my person that wants life to look a certain way. The truth of who I am, when I'm in my center, I'm in my beingness, I don't need life to look any different than it is. I really don't. And that's true for all of us if we can be in that place. But sometimes we're not. Sometimes we're throwing a curveball and we're doing our best to handle it. But again, it's best to have compassion for ourselves. And if we're not stepping out of this experience, surrender into it. Surrender into it, trusting that it will lead you somewhere. I've probably told you this at times. I have songs playing in my head all the time where Spirit is just coaching me and guiding me. And I don't remember what the song was tonight, or this morning, but it wasn't that good of a song. And I do remember that I said, okay, if that's my experience, then that's my experience, And I have a fear still, not near as much as I used to, but I still have a fear of how I'm going to show up in, as Beth would say, the congressional. But I still have a fear of how I'm going to show up in the congregation and how I will be received. So I was aware of that, and I just said, you know what, God, do what you need to do. I don't want to fight this. If I need to look like a fool, then so be it. I trust that you'll give me the experience that I need and that everybody else needs as well. So it is what it is, right? So I hope, honestly, and I pray that you are gentle and compassionate with yourself. Please, be gentle and compassionate with yourself, knowing that you're doing the best you can based on where you're at. It's true for all of us. And I know it looks crazy sometimes, but even when you're fighting it, can you just take a step back? Just take a step back and say, I'm noticing my ego self is fighting this. It's okay. Be a witness to that. Once you step back from it, no matter what's going on, you can step back from it and give it some space, and it will change, and you will experience a deeper peace. And I remember one of my teachers, Muji, online, somebody said, I'm just feeling grumpy. he said, then be a grumpy Buddha. It's okay. Just be a grumpy Buddha. So I offer to you, no matter what space you're in, no matter what's going on with your life, notice your thoughts, your feelings about it, whether your mind says, I like it or don't like it, and just allow it to be okay. But don't try to push it away. Don't try to push it away. It's there for a reason, and if you can embrace it, and the more you can say, thank you, God. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, Jesus, thank you, Buddha. Just thank you. The more you can say that, the more the gratitude will move it through, and you will feel life is so much easier in that space. I think I feel complete. I do want to say, I'm always grateful to be here. I truly am. I appreciate your openness. I appreciate all the beautiful music and just the love, and also your openness and willingness to hear words and receive them. So thank you so much.
Good morning. And Reverend Brett, thank you for being here. It is always a pleasure, and I love hearing your message. Thank you. My name is Deb Embrock, and I am a member of your board. If you would please join me in our board affirmation. I hold the world in a vision of harmony and peace. And now, as the ushers come forward, if you would please take out your tithes and love offerings and join me in the offertory blessing. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God.
This song we're gonna play, it's about God is love. Okuva we yatandika okumusinza ebyange byonna byatereera labe yali akaaba sikyakaaba labe yali adaaga sikyadaaga n'emikwano gyange gyebuuza abooluganda bange bewuunya buli wempita banegomba abooluganda bange bebuuza yampa kiyoyo namuwa kikyekyo namuwa kikyekyo ono Yesu anjagala nange mwagala byakola bambi binsanyusa ono Yesu anjagala nange mwagala nebyakola bambi binsanyusa ono Yesu anjagala nange nebyakola bambi binsanyusa Yesu anjagala nange nebyakola bambi binsanyusa mama. Bambi mwagala, nawa kwagala, finna twagala. Yesa kwagala, finna twagala, yomwa mwagala. Yesa kwagala, finna twagala, yomwa mwagala. Yesa kwagala, yomwa mwagala, finna twagala. Thank you. Thank you so much.
As the ushers come forward, I want to thank you again, Samuel, for bringing us your music of life. I don't know how you capture it, but it's just what life sounds like. It's just lovely. And Brett, thank you for reminding us to stay present and accept what is. And thank you, Rhonda, for the beautiful flowers today, lighting up our platform. Okay, let us pray. Loving Spirit, on this beautiful day in May, we are grateful for all the blessings and gifts we experience daily in our lives. We are thankful for the offerings received today and throughout the week. We pray for our neighbors who continue to rebuild after the storm damage and listen for ways we can help and support them. We hold all who are struggling here, in our community, and around the world in love and light. May they find the peace that is in their hearts. Amen. As we bring our service to a close, I invite you to stand, please, and join me in our prayer for protection. Together, the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And now as we close with a peace song, if you're comfortable, you may hold hands with your neighbor or just place your hand on your heart and connect within.